We're going to talk a little bit more about tumbling today. I know on the last video I talked about the processes that I use to take pieces and use my my centrifugal tumbler, which I use plastic media in it, and then I switched over to my rotary tumbler with mixed media steel shot in it. And I showed how I went from a piece like a raw casting that looks like this to a piece, drop C's today, to a piece that looks like this. This has not been polished at all. This is just out of the two-stage tumbler. I put a liver of sulfur in there to blacken it before I put it in the second stage of the centrifugal tumbler with the plastic media, just to add definition and some antiquing in the background. But sometimes people don't want to do that. They want everything to be nice and shiny. So taking pieces that, here's a couple examples of, let's see if I can get that to focus. A couple of examples of some rings that have some definition, but maybe you don't want some blackening in the recesses. You want everything to be polished. Well, the plastic media is not going to get into those tight areas, and either is the steel shot, the mixed media. Everything is rounded and stuff, and it's more of a burnisher. So imagine you're burnishing and it's kind of coming in here, but it doesn't get into these really tight areas. So today we're going to talk about magnetic pin tumbling. I've got a magnetic pin tumbler that I use to get into those tighter areas around settings and around design and definition if you want it to be nice and polished on the inside. So think of magnetic pin tumbling not as like a burnisher that's got like rounded edges, but more like pins that are kind of getting into the tight areas and shining them. It burnishes, but it also, like I said, it kind of hammers with a really sharp end. So if you use areas that have a lot of, say something like this, that has a lot of flat surface area, if you put that in a pin tumbler, you're going to look at the surface and you're going to see it's going to have like an orange peel effect. It's not going to be nice and shiny, where if I put that in the steel shot mixed media, the surface is going to be fairly flat and shiny. But on a pin tumbler, it's going to be like little pin marks in there. I mean, not real sharp pin marks, but you're going to see that it's not nice and shiny. It's going to be kind of shiny, but the surface is not going to be really flat. It's going to be pitted a little bit. So you want to kind of look at the piece that you're using and decide what type of tumbling process you want to go, if you have all of these tumblers at hand, or if you're deciding to purchase a tumbler and you've got specific tasks that you want it to do. Take a look at the last video. I will put a link at the end of this video in that so that you can kind of have a reference to see the two types that I use for these other processes. But today we're going to throw the pieces in a magnetic pin tumbler. So magnetic pin tumblers is all these really small, I think the pins I use are 0.5 millimeter round, and they're usually 4 millimeters long, so it's like these little pins, and underneath it is a magnet that spins really fast, and all of these pins are steel, so they're moving around, and it's just kind of, everything is just kind of violent going on around inside of there. And you put your pieces in there, and all of that steel is hammering all of the softer metal, the gold and the silver and the bronze, whatever you're using. So it is shining it up and burnishing it at the same time. But again, it's getting into those really tight areas, like around settings and things like that. So you can't get into those areas with a polishing wheel very easily. So if you don't have a way of getting into those areas around settings or design or something like that, they're going to be kind of dull and not give you the shine that you want. So magnetic pin tumbling is a way to get shine down into those hard to get areas. So let's go take a look at the magnetic pin tumbler. So this is the magnetic pin tumbler that I use, and I just changed out the water. I put fresh water in there, and I put a little bit of, it's called 920 compound that I get from Rio Grande. It's a powder compound, and I put like a fourth of a tablespoon of powder in there. And I always put a few drops of Dawn dishwashing liquid in there, just so that the water itself is a little bit more slimy, I guess would be the word, so that it just, everything moves around in there a little bit better. So here's some random pieces that I'm going to put in there. So a tumbler about this size, you could probably put, 6 or 7 pieces in there at a time, and it'll still work good. Anything more than that, and it just doesn't work as efficiently. So here I've got 7 pieces, actually 6 pieces. I'm not putting that one in there. So I've got a couple of rings that have this design on them. You can kind of see. And we've got some settings, and I've got this piece here as well. I'm going to show you the difference from the last video. So just going to throw those in there, put the lid on it, and then we can get that to focus a little bit, and then just turn on the timer. Usually I'll do about 20 to 30 minutes. And you can kind of see it's doing its thing. It's all of those pins are in there, just kind of spinning around, using that magnet to move them around a bit, and they're all just kind of tumbling around in there. And like I said, in about 25 minutes I'll pull them out and we'll take a look at them and see what the magnetic tumbler did to them. All right, I got the pieces out of the tumbler, and you can see they do a really good job of shining and polishing in those little hard to get areas, especially like around prongs or designs. It does a really good job, like on this ring here, around the setting, on the inside of the setting, it's all nice and shiny. Now, one thing that I do want to show you, and I explained it earlier, if you have a flat surface, it doesn't shine it like you would think. So I took this ring, and I didn't show it earlier, but I took a picture of it before, and I actually took a polish, and I put a polish on this flat edge. And then after the tumbling, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see what that does, but it's like an orange peel. It doesn't really give it a really good shine. I mean, it shines up the areas, like on the inside it did really well, but on flat surfaces it doesn't really give it a nice clean look. It's more like an orange peel surface. So when you're choosing the type of tumbling system that you want to go with, just know that one system usually doesn't work really good for every piece. So you've got to have different approaches to pieces. So like on this piece here, if I would put that in the rotary tumbler with the mixed media, it would give that a more of a shiny, smooth look. But with the pin tumbler, it just, like I said, those little pins get in there and just kind of beat it up pretty good, and it just takes away the really clean surface and gives you more of a textured surface, or like I said, an orange peel surface. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more understanding of how the magnetic pin tumblers work, and they work really good when they are used for the proper system. So like I said, around design, around prongs, things like that. Throw chains in there, it gets in all the little cracks and crevices of the chains, and it works really good. But again, on the high polished surfaces, not so well. I mean, it'll shine it up, but then you're still going to have to go in and do a pre-polish and a final polish on the heavy flat surfaces, just because it doesn't give you a smooth surface. It gives you a like you said, or like you've seen, a rough surface, shiny but rough. So hopefully that helps understand a little bit more about magnetic tumbling. And the video that I did a couple days ago that will be linked to this at the very end. You can kind of go back and see how I go about the plastic media and the rotary steel shot tumbler. So if you have any questions, as always, you can get a hold of me. You can message me here on the channel, or you can send me an email at doug@jewelrymonk.com. And don't forget, on Fridays, 8 a.m. in the morning, we have a live Q&A, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time in the United States. So that's 7 in the morning on the West Coast, 10 in the morning on the East Coast. So we just kind of hang out and have questions and answers, and I kind of recap what I did during the week and have fun. And also, if you go to jewelrymonk.com, you can subscribe there. I send out a weekly email just to kind of touch base. Sometimes we touch on things that we're doing here. Other times we throw out different subjects as well, but it's always kind of geared more there towards encouraging. And on the website as well, there's always some free content. There's some downloadable stuff, and just kind of get on there and just kind of wander around. But thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next time. This is Doug with the Jewelry Monk Studio.